Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video in Total War Pharaoh. So today I thought we could discuss a bit about the royal decrees and which route I think you should go for regardless of your campaign. And I will say straight away, just go to the right side here. What you want to look for is the -8% reduction, but I would suggest directly to just set yourself up to go all the way to the right, even all the way to on this specific tree. And then you're pretty good setup. It will take you around to 25 to 30 turns to get there. And it's going to benefit you quite a bit. But let's take it a bit from the beginning. So the royal decrees are found up here in the top left. The royal decrees is basically your research technology tree, where you research different technologies in order to get an advantage from civic developments, economy, or military. And these are dotted all the way around. And it looks more or less the same regardless of culture or factions. The basic fundamental things is still the same. They are just small variations and they are put into different places. The one exception I would say for this route is probably if you go all out diplomacy. Then you will probably want to look over to the left where you find the diplomatic relations buffs all around. And there are a lot of different interesting options as well, as here for Priam over up to the left we can get a very nice missile range with plus 15% faction wide for our archers, which is very interesting. But still, this route reigns supreme as the first one to go for. So let's take it a bit back from the beginning. What is actually Total War about in general and Total War Pharaoh? Yeah, you want to expand and conquer territory, and in order to do so, you need an army. And not only that, you want your army to be competitive, basically stronger than your enemies in order to beat them, right? Thing is, a competitive army is going to cost you money, or not money in this case, but resources, food, bronze, and gold, depending on the stage of your campaign. How much an army is costing you is easily visible if you just click the army and you can see it above the unit cards. So with this starting army of 7 units with Priam, it cost us only 624 food, 62 bronze, and actually 27 gold. So a really good army is going to cost you a lot of resources. And you will build your buildings up here in order to get higher tier ranked. But I can break you down in general terms here. If we think of it like tier 1 and tier 2 units, which is basically the first units you're going to have, they are only going to cost you food in around 80 to 150 food per unit. But you're soon going to look for an army of at least 3rd tier. And then we are talking a bit of bronze as well. And we are closer to around 150 to 200 in food upkeep and around 22 to 27 in this case bronze. So the upkeep is going to expand quite quickly. Full stack army is going to fairly soon cost you around 3000 food, or at least 3000 food and a few hundred bronze. Which is why I would recommend that you go for the reduced upkeep straight away. Of course, there are other ways to reduce the upkeep too, like on the general screen here with the presence. So for every upgrade you can reduce the upkeep even further here. And that is a viable route as well. Just keep in mind that you might actually want to go for the fortitude, which will actually get you replenished and increase the battle loot. So that will actually help your army being battle ready and increase your war economy. Another thing to take into consideration, as your campaign progresses, your administration is going to get higher and higher, which means that your upkeep in all regards for food and bronze is going to increase. So all in all, reducing upkeep of your army is an important step of every single campaign. And which is why I would suggest you go for this one first. But the upkeep here is not the only reason. Because as I said, what do you need in order to expand your empire? Yes, you need a competitive army. And for that, they need to be experienced and as well trained as possible. And that is also why I like this route and find this one supreme as well. Because if you look, this is just an example, but as I said, regarding of the culture you choose, this tree is going to look more or less the same. Actually, one difference is with Ramses, for example. You actually have two of these ones. So I think you find the first -8% in the middle and then yet another one further down the road. But starting here is a great way to start off your campaign because the first one will provide you XP per turn. So regardless of units you have, they will start gaining experience regardless of how much fighting they are committing. And if we progress, we get even more XP from battles. And further on, we reduce the recruitment cost by 20% in this case for tier 1, 2 and 3 units, which is going to save us money in the end. Moving on, in this case we get to the upkeep, which is hugely important, and we reduce the recruitment cost even further for tier 3 units. And look again, we reduce the recruitment cost even further, in this case faction wide, and we reduce the upkeep by another 12% for tier 4 units, which is going to, by the time you get here, you will not be too far away from getting them. And moving even further, you will get additional more upkeep reduction for tier 5 units, which is the, now we're talking actually gold as well. So that's the thing, when reducing the upkeep, not only are you saving food, you are saving every single resource. So let me summarize one more time. This route here will give your army good training, get you that early competitive edge, and once you are done with the entire tree, you will have quite a hefty reduction in upkeep, which will of course over the course of the remaining of your campaign save you a lot of resources. So after you have completed this one, now is a good time to pursue other things. So there you have it guys, a short guide on which route I think you should go for from the beginning. After you have completed that route, I think you're free to go wherever you want. Of course you don't need to listen to this one, just play the game and have fun with it. But if you want to be slightly effective, I think this is the way to go, because I don't see any other route that's more effective than that one to go for first. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Leave that like if you did, subscribe if you haven't. Until the next one, have a good one.